Welcome to today's Hard Assets podcast with our host, Bill Youngerman. Today's subject, gold coins of the world. And Bill, this is one that you're very interested in and, of course, very knowledgeable about. Gold coins have been growing in popularity the last, 10 to 15 years. And some of them have been providing an excellent return on investment. Why is that?
World gold coins, Lou, have been very undervalued over the years. And in fact, in relationship to their counterparts in U.S. gold coin rarities, they're a fraction of what a similar rarity would bring in a U.S. coin. That sparked a lot of interest as people have been priced out of some of the coin collecting in U.S. coinage, and they find that the variety of gold coins from around the world makes it a much more interesting collection.
Now, if a listener was interested in learning more or investing or collecting in some of the gold coins from different places in the world, what would you recommend they do first?
The first thing I would recommend is that they buy the book, as is commonly said. And the best book you can buy on gold coins of the world, and the most complete book you can buy, which goes from ancient gold coins to modern gold coins, is The Gold Coins of the World by Arthur Friedberg. The numbers themselves for each coin have become standard catalog numbers, and each coin is numbered in the catalog with each country's listings.
So it's a very thorough, it's the Bible of gold coins in the world. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Now, Bill, what got you interested in gold coins? I know you have a strong interest in this field yourself.
Gold as a whole has been a fascination with me, and an area that I felt was an excellent investment, a great store of wealth. And back in the 1960s, I looked at gold as a bargain and started transitioning all of our numismatic collectibles into gold coins, initially gold coins of the United States, gold coin rarities of the United States, and then subsequently later on added gold coins of the world to our inventories.
Now, coin collecting is not new. I mean, this new interest in gold coins of the world, you said, began 10 to 15 years ago, but it's been around a long time. Tell us a little bit about the history.
Well, certainly, gold coins have been collected back even through Nero's time. So, I mean, it's something that's been very popular down through the ages. It's just in the last 50 years or 25 years, at least in this country, gold coins of the world have become very popular to collect. For many years, for centuries, actually, colleges used coins to teach their history. Coins in the world, gold coins and gold coinage of the world as a whole, help people to understand their rulers. They actually portrayed the very historical events of the time. And so they became very popular to use as teaching tools in the universities in Europe.
That's fascinating. When you're looking at a coin, how does one grade gold coins?
Actually, for world gold coins, the grading system is the same as it is for U.S. gold coins. And the grading services also authenticate and grade world gold coins. And as a result, they use the same grading criteria. So that they might start in a good condition, very good, fine, and they have all numbers to go along with that. The most technical part is when you get into the uncirculated condition, of which there are 11 different numbers describing a coin with the least amount of bag marks, the least amount of different factors that touch a coin over the history of its existence. So they grade these coins, and as far as uncirculated is concerned, they start off at mint state 60, and they go all the way for a perfect coin to mint state 70.
Okay, so mint state would be 60 to 70. I'm assuming that coins that have been actually circulated are going to be less than that. 50s,
Correct.
40s is okay. Mm-hmm. Are there any countries that stand out in the world as being most focused on minting gold coins?
Actually, Great Britain is a very popular country and has issued a great many coins from its history, but the greatest number of coins that were ever issued in gold, and maybe in all different kinds of metals, comes from the country of Germany, with its many different city-states issuing all kinds of coins. There's actually 3,900 different gold coin types in Friedberg's book on gold coins of the world, just for Germany alone. So collecting German coins becomes very expensive and almost impossible. So what people do is they collect individual types of city-states from Germany, like Hamburg or Prussia or different places in Germany. And they'll also collect German denominations, for instance, gold ducats from Germany, or the 20 mark series from Germany. There's a host of different ways that one can collect gold coins and not have to go for every single coin that was minted by an individual country.
Bill, there are different types of gold coins that have been minted by places like Germany and the U.S. and the different countries of the world. What are some of the different types of coins?
Okay, before we went off the gold standard in 1933, countries issued gold coins and they were used in circulation. They were money. And they were used, and they often had the emperor or the king's portrait on the coins. They would have the commemorative things that they were maybe commemorating at the time. But when we went off the gold standard in 1933, countries ceased making gold coins for the most part. There were a few that continued. And then we didn't see gold coins, especially in this country, until 1984, when the United States made the first gold coin, a commemorative gold coin, 1983, 1984, for the U.S. Olympics in California. That was the beginning of a commemorative series of coins that the United States has been issuing ever since. All different kinds of commemoratives, from presidents to wives of presidents, a host of hundreds of different commemorative coins. In 1960s, the Franklin Mint picked up on commemorative gold coins also, as the laws were being relaxed slowly concerning what a person could own in the way of gold coins. And collectible coins were allowed to be owned, so they started making commemorative coins for all different kinds of countries, from Africa to South America and different things of that, which produced a prolific amount of gold coins from countries that never even issued coins before, or gold coins before. And these were made just strictly for collectors, commemorative type coins. Then in 1967, South Africa came out with a gold Krugerrand, which was the beginning of the first bullion gold coin to be issued for purposes of investment in gold bullion. They were then followed by the Royal Canadian Mint's Maple Leaf, and then later on in 1986, the United States issued the U.S. Gold Eagle. Those are all gold coins issued for one reason, and that's for bullion, for the purpose of buying gold bullion for investment and as a secure place of value protecting one's currency.
Now, the investment potential, you're just talking about investments. What is the investment potential of U.S. coins, let's say, versus those of the rest of the world?
Okay, well, U.S. gold coins have had a big run since the 1980s, I would say. Markets began very popular. Gold hit in 1980, $850 an ounce. And U.S. gold coins were expanding in prices amazingly, and they've continued to do so. But somewhere around in the last few years, we've seen that market has kind of priced itself out in many areas. And people are looking around for areas that are undervalued, and so are we, and that's why we chose World Gold Coins. A coin that brings $1 million in a U.S. gold rarity might only bring $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 in a World Gold Coin rarity. So it gives a person the opportunity to own things that maybe there's only 2, 3, 4, 5 known to exist, and still not have to spend $1 million on the coin.
Bill, are there any places that you're looking at, any countries that you're looking at yourself right now that you think are especially interesting?
I think the gold coins of countries that speak to their history, that have limited supply, and that are not like Germany with 3,900 different types. Many of the South American, Central American, Spanish colonial coinage is very popular with collectors. Mexico is a very popular country to collect. And so there's many countries that you can go and collect, and every coin is an experience. It's a history lesson. It's unique in and of itself in many ways. So there's many countries like that. I like gold coins of Scotland, but they were only made from about the 14th century to the 17th century. And so they're very rare, but it's a collectible series. Gold coins of Britain are very popular and always have been. And that takes you back to the 14th and even 13th century of coins. You can buy gold coins with Henry VIII on them. One of my favorite coins, and one of the British coins that have been very popular, is the coin from Queen Victoria's coronation. And they produced a proof set of coinage, one of which coin was the 1839 5-pound or 5 sovereign size coin with Una and the lion on the back and Queen Victoria on the front. This coin in the 1970s, we traded these for around $10,000 a piece. Then by the 1980s, they were going for $25,000. By the 1990s, they were easily bringing $50,000. And the current catalog value in Friedberg's Gold Coins of the World book is $200,000 for that coin. And one recently went for even over that in an auction sale.
That's incredible. So $10,000 in the 1970s. and over $200,000 today. What a tremendous appreciation. Now, Bill, people can collect by country, as you noted, except for Germany, but they can collect by country, Scotland, Britain, many of the South American countries, you were saying, Central American countries. What other ways can they collect?
Well, one of the popular ways is some people collect just an individual country. Some people collect, like I said, Spanish colonial, which was one of my favorites. Also, they collect coins by denomination. A lot of people collect the 8 escudo gold coins of the different countries and colonial coins. Those are very popular. They're the big gold coins. They call them gold doubloons. They were found on some of the treasure ships, and they were issued from the early 1600s all the way to the 1820s.
1600s to 1820s, and you have quite a collection of those escudos. You have a 4-proof set. What is that set?
It's actually a 4-coin set of 1697 in our museum collection on hometowncurrency.org. Is 1697 8 escudo, 4 escudo, 2 escudo, and a 1 escudo gold coin. These are all from the 1715 fleet. They're all of Charles II of Spain, and they were, it's one of only 2 sets known to exist. The other set is in the Florida State Museum collection. Florida actually received a lot of the gold coins that were found on the shipwrecks from the Tosha and from the 1715 fleet. They would take their 25% of what was found in gold coins, and they put them in their collection, and that collection is on display in Tallahassee. It's a wonderful collection of treasure coins that were brought up from our Gold Coast. I happen to be able to put together this set over the last few years, the 8 escudo, the 4 escudo, the 2 escudo, and the 1 escudo. And it is, like I said, one of only 2 sets ever completed.
Bill, what does a set like that run?
A collection like that, in the condition that I have it, is probably worth around $200,000.
That's incredible. And those were found off the coast of Florida. A little bit of history right there. Tell us about that fleet. How did we find them? Why did they end up on the coast of Florida? Where did they end up? How did that all come about?
Yes, in 1715, the fleet was organized. They came together from the different South American ports, and they met up in Cuba. And from Cuba, they were to sail back to Spain with all the treasures that had been mined and stolen and whatever they could get their hands on to take back to King Charles and actually King Philip V at the time. And those several dozen ships all were sunk, with the exception of one of them, in the 1715 fleet hurricane that took them all to the bottom of the ocean. And many of them were salvaged. The King of Spain immediately sent ships to salvage as much of the treasure as could be found. Some of them were washed up on the shore, rocks and things. And of course, the pirates were all over the place trying to get the treasure also. It was a massive amount of silver and gold coins and silver bars and gold bars. They're still being found on our beaches from time to time. And just a few years ago, one diver salvage company brought up over $15 million worth.
Fascinating. And that's off the coast of what is today Fort Pierce, as I understand it. And there is some thinking that that's responsible, that shipwreck, that fleet, and that gold is where we get the name Treasure Coast. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
It's fascinating. Fascinating story. Bill, anything else you'd like to tell our listeners who might be interested in beginning to collect or invest in their own gold coin collections?
Well, I certainly would go back to the same premise of make sure you get a hold of the Gold Coins of the World book, the 9th edition by Friedberg, and start to study that. And you'll enjoy the history and the romance of these coins. And you, if you're interested in collecting, you can call us and we'll be happy to sit down with you or talk with you over the phone and give you some ideas and some things to do and things not to do when it comes to collecting these coins.
Well, thank you, Bill. Thanks for your time. Fascinating subject, gold coins of the world. If you've been listening to the podcast today and you'd like to learn more about gold coins, you'd like to learn more about precious metals and hard assets in general, you want to subscribe to Bill Youngerman's new Hard Asset e-newsletter. The e-newsletter has information, has a feature, usually has a podcast of some sort on a specific topic or issue of relevance to hard assets. And it comes also with a precious metals trends graph and commentary from Bill. And it also has examples of hard assets that have appreciated over the years, very interesting stories, everything from paper money and currencies to rare coins that we've been talking about today. precious metals themselves, and just a lot more in that e-newsletter. Fascinating e-newsletter, and it's free. And the way you can obtain yours is simply by going to the WilliamYungerman.com website. And on the website, as you click, you'll see a subscription pop up for the e-newsletter. Simply fill it in and you'll be on the list and you'll receive one. You can subscribe at any time. It's a wonderful newsletter and very informative, and I think you'll find it interesting. Well, thank you for listening to our podcast today. Part of our goal at William Youngerman to help you become a wise and successful hard asset investor.